Patriots get their guy Mac Jones at 15. So what do you think his future holds as he goes into his first season into New England?
Well, I mean, shout out to his entrance to the stage. We all know that man, he looked like he was ready to quote Twitter, he looked like he was ready to snitch on somebody for taking the cookie out the cookie jar. That man power walked his way out to the stage. He was so happy. He said, "Oh my God, I've been back there so long," and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Mac Jones looked like he was so happy. But to be on a serious note, I mean, we all know that Bill Belichick can do a lot with a little. We all know the history behind Tom Brady being picked 199 and not really having a lot of hype behind him. Mac Jones, I'm not going to say he was better than Tom at that point in his career, but he did have an incredible SEC record in a year, or should I say an all-time Alabama record year with 4,500 total yards thrown. So, I mean, the kid has talent. Don't get me wrong. He can ball. He can play. But it's a matter of the weapons around you, like we've discussed a multitude of times. Yes, he has two incredible tight ends now. We all know tight ends are rookie quarterbacks' best friends. But Cam Newton is on this roster. Cam Newton is the starter going into week 1, I would assume. So he will have to sit back for a couple of weeks, pending if Cam, 1, stays healthy, and then 2, is able to actually play effectively through the playbook. But I think that you genuinely got a good quarterback for the future, because we all know that Mac Jones was a system quarterback in Alabama. Tom Brady was a system quarterback early in his career with Bill Belichick running that offense, who grew into his own and obviously became the greatest quarterback of all time over time. But I think that you guys did the right thing. The fact that he fell all the way down when he was expected to go 3 over Trey Lance, I thought it was a really, really, really good thing for you guys. And I think that he's going to be a good player for you guys in the coming future. It's a matter of, can he produce at the NFL level? Because we all know the SEC quarterback you had last time and Ryan Mallett did not pan out. Granted, Tom Brady was in front of him, but when he did get to play, it was an atrocious showing when he was on the field.
Well, we had Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham's from Auburn, and he hasn't really panned out in any significant positive way whatsoever. So, look, I think it's a good move by New England. He was on the board. And I think really it was probably either between him or Justin Fields. But once Chicago made the trade up to number 11 from where the Giants were, pretty much told me that the Giants were going to go after Justin Fields. Excuse me, the Bears were going to go after Justin Fields. And then that pretty much left the door wide open for New England to go get Mac Jones. There was no other teams that made the trade up to go get him. And then pretty much once the Jets made the trade with Minnesota to get the 14th spot, and I believe the Jets got that offensive lineman from USC. I think his name is Vera Tucker. It pretty much told me, like, yeah, Mac Jones is going to New England. But as far as what I think Mac Jones can do, look, I think he's definitely he's a system quarterback, but I think the way that New England has a system built currently, I think it could be a great system for Mac Jones to be a part of. They have a good offensive lineman. They have a solid running back core. They have improved their wide receiver core through free agency this offseason. And you have Josh McDaniels being the offensive coordinator for the team. So, and you got Coach Bill Belichick basically tutoring this guy as he starts his NFL career. So I don't think he's going to be the immediate starter because Cam's got that job day one. Cam's going to be the starter first week of the year. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Patriots kind of let Mac Jones kind of groom into that backup role just 100%. So he learns from Cam. Depending on how it goes with Cam this year, it could be reminiscent of what the Chiefs did a couple years ago when Alex Smith was the quarterback, and then they kind of let Patrick Mahomes play the last game or two to kind of get his feet wet into the NFL. So depending on how Cam plays this year, I think that they could do something similar to that just because Cam's on a one-year deal. There's no guarantee that he's going to be the long-term quarterback for New England. And I think if Mac Jones just really pounds the pavement here and really kind of focuses on what he needs to do, I think he could be a starter maybe by the end of the year or going into next year, just depending on how Cam plays this year. And look, Cam has never really been the same after that shoulder surgery about 2-3 years ago. Now we're going to see what happens when it comes to what he's going to be this year with a better wide receiver core and a better tight end group as well. So
now he actually has time to like get used to the playbook with a full off season with your coaching staff.
Exactly. So if Cam can't really produce with this amount of talent around him,
Pretty sure he's done.
Mac Jones is going to be looked at as like, all right, dude, it's your time. So I think Cam will probably play out the year, but if Cam plays inconsistently this year, I think Matt Jones could be the starter by the end of the year, and I think he will definitely be the starter going into year 2. That's how I kind of see it. But overall,
yeah, no, I don't disagree.
But overall, good pick by New England. He fell to 15. If he's on the board, you go take him. And I don't really think it was really like a no lose situation here. It's like he's on the board, you might as well go get him.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was no reason not to. I mean, he was talked about for so long. Like I said, like we talked about as well at number 3. So we all know that the potential was there for him to be a quarterback of the future for somebody. And the fact that he fell all the way down to you guys was kind of like a blessing because you know that he has the ability to go out and lead a team like he did in Alabama. He comes from great coaching and a great team in Nick Saban, and he had great talent around him in the 2 years he was there, obviously having Jerry Jeudy, Devonta Smith, Eric Waddle, Najee Harris, and then the boys. So he's not unaccustomed to playing with good players. So obviously with probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest NFL coach of all time in Bill Belichick, and one of the best offensive coordinators in the league in Josh McDaniels, I think that he kind of nailed it in going from the greatest college coach to the greatest NFL coach. So, I mean, he is, I would say, relatively in a similar situation that he was in Alabama. And we all know that the system triumphs all in New England. We've all heard Chad Johnson and everybody that's played in New England talk about it's the New England way. I think he goes from the best possible system in one league to possibly one of the best in another.